Alright, mic check 1 2 1 2. We're looking good. Stream is going hot. I think we're ready to rock and roll. What's going on, Guardians? My name is the Blacklink, and we are back on Thursday, May 18th, 2023. Can you believe we're already halfway through the month of May? We're past the halfway point. We are coming up towards the end of the month. It's crazy how fast this year is going. It's ludicrous how quickly it's going. Honestly can't believe it. It's a little wild. But what's up, everybody? We're back with a little bit of that Destiny 2 on PC. Had a real good time yesterday on yesterday's stream. Farming up some Vanguard Engrams. We got some stuff that we want to focus farm. Some Nightfall weapons, and the Strike in the Guardian Games playlist this week is not bad at all. Having a lot of fun with it. Figured I'd jump on and do a little bit more. It is double Vanguard rep and rewards this week, so it's a great week to hop in there. And the Guardian Games playlist in particular is a great place to go and farm some of that stuff up. So we're going to do a little bit more of that today while I test out. I went back to kind of a different Void build. I've been using a Verity's Brow based build just to give buffs to my grenades and to my Void weapons. But I felt like trying a little something different. Figured I'd swap it back to an old Nothing Manacles build. And I've been fine-tuning that just a little bit. And it's a lot of fun. Scatter grenades are still pretty strong. With Nothing Manacles, you can technically take advantage of all three of the Void aspects for Warlock. Thanks to some of the built-in abilities in Nothing Manacles. So it's pretty good. Having fun with it. We'll be getting down on a little bit of that today. What helmet is that? Oh, it's the old, not the Firestarter one from a couple seasons ago. Say, that man's dome is on fire.
I love it.
Grab some more of these things.
Come
Oh,
back soon.
and I won't forget today, this is the one aspect of Guardian Games I think I can say I actively hate. I'm not going to forget to put on the stupid medal today. I should just go ahead and max this thing out, just so I don't have to worry about it.
Life must be terribly exciting.
Am I really going to waste an Ascendant Shard on this? No, I'm not. Let's see, I had Reaper, Bomber, Grenades. That's fine. I'm not going to have enough for the Reaper, but that's fine. Second bomber on. There we go. I think it's super dumb that you have to wear the class item. Maybe that made sense a couple years ago, Bungie. Not so much now.
Yes.
Not so much now. Yo, Taz, what's up, dude? Yeah, unfortunately, the bot no longer works with my track list. It used to be connected to my my Chillhop playlist, but it no longer is for some reason, and I haven't been able to fix that. So you can't just hit the you can't just hit the song and track key anymore. But all of the music that plays on every single live stream, you can find over at the playlist at chillhop.com. I'll toss a link to that in the chat there. But there's always going to be a link to Chillhop in the description of the live stream itself. So make sure you go and check it out there. It's where we play all of our music from. If you're somebody who does live streaming and all that kind of stuff, Chillhop is great. They're a great resource. They are royalty free and some of the best jams you will hear in your life. Top tier stuff. Yo, Lord Darkon, made your way over to the Rumble side of things. Good to see you over there. He's come for the Namekos. Well, Rumble might be the one place where I've actually found Namekos. We found them. They do exist. Cascade Point got shot straight. There might be some synergy here in PvP. Yeah, you know what? That might be worth trying out. Gut Shot Straight and Threadling. I think I've got a Gut Shot Straight Threadling build. Yeah. Gut Shot Straight actually kind of does work in tandem with Threadling, since you don't have to rely on precision hits for that. There's some interesting stuff there. This gun, this scout rifle, is freaking ridiculous. It's so much fun. There's so many different awesome combinations for it. I'm having a lot of fun with the Terra.
Let's begin.
All right, what you got? Oh, I'm already stocked up. We're good to go. Taking bets on how bad TBL's RNG will be. $5 minimums. Man, after yesterday, when I got the triple shoot to loot kinetic tremors hung juries, I knew. I knew it was over. It's over for me. There is absolutely, there's no other way that this could go down. I blew my load in one shot yesterday by getting triple shoot to loot kinetic tremor hung juries. It's over. There's no more hope for me. I dread the next season. It's gonna be bad, brother. It's gonna be real bad. Yo, ACH Plays, good to see you. This is what up, bro. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today is technically my Friday, so it is phenomenal. I am as happy could be. When I woke up this morning, I usually get up around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up and I was like, wait a second. This is it. Today's the last day I gotta go to work, and then my weekend starts. Ugh. It was just a soft, sensual nut. It was great. So yeah, my week's going well. How about yours? Other thing about Nothing Manacles, gives you a second scatter grenade charge. With a decent Devour build, basically just infinite grenades. Scatter grenades can be a lot of fun, especially once you've stacked up some debuffs. It's just constant Devour, constant Void Breach, and constant Volatile in big groups of enemies. Void really is a fun element to play this season. There's a lot of speculation that that next season's going to be kind of an arc-focused one, and I'd be okay with that. Hopefully Arc Warlock sees a couple more buffs. They kind of, at least in my opinion, Arc Warlock kind of needs it. Arc Titan and Arc Hunter are okay. Arc Warlock, I think, is the weakest of the three. Not that there aren't some fun builds. Yeah, scatter grenades hit hard. I love it. Yo, Akira, good to see ya. Says, yo, there'd be a pen link or morning TBL finishing some things before Season of the Deep. Yes, sir. Getting some last minute farming in. I gotta remember to go do my queen stuff this week too. I've been doing pretty good. I've been keeping up with the queen, the Dreaming City weekly bounties. Gotta keep that going. Aw. He murked them all before I could. Yeah, this stuff, this gun just feels good. I gotta start weaning myself off of Void, because Void is... I'm crutching on Void the same way I was crutching on Solar last season. I'm having so much fun with Void builds. That's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get me off of them right now. You know me, it's never hard to get me off. Knock, knock. Yo, Cajun Bowser, what's up, my southern brother? I don't remember. Did you tell me whether or not you saw Super Mario Brothers yet? It's crazy to me that it's already available for streaming. I still haven't had a chance to see it. I'm thinking of going to see it this weekend. Or maybe just watching it at home since I can stream it now. Hell, Nintendo would probably prefer that since they probably get more of that streaming money than they do of the theater bucks. I've heard such good things about it. Jay, my little brother, went to go see it last week, said it was phenomenal. It's everything he wanted. And I trust his opinion. Yo, Marcus, it's always okay to lurk. Some of my favorite viewers are lurkers. Oh, it's so good. Look at all these orbs we're generating. Yeah, caught the spawn. I don't remember saying if I did or not. Well, did you? Don't leave me in suspense. I want to know. I'm so thrilled. Because like you guys have seen all the headlines about the Mario movie, right? Like just how much money it's making. I 100% stand by my prediction a couple weeks ago, right before the film came out, where I said, I think the new trend, we're basically at the end of life for the trend of superhero movies being basically the #1 blockbusters. I don't think superhero movies are going to go away. But, you know, for the last 10, 15 years, it's been, you drop a Marvel movie, you drop a superhero movie, and it's going to be the box office leader for the entire year. I think we're coming up towards the end of that sort of you know, of that phase of Hollywood. And I think what we're doing, and it really kind of started a few years ago, but I think what we're moving into is is basically a new phase, and it's going to be video game movies. And it really started with the success of Sonic the Hedgehog. But Sonic the Hedgehog is going to kind of be like the Blade for video game movies, whereas Super Mario Brothers is going to serve as like the Iron Man 1. Whereas Blade was really successful. Well, maybe not Blade, because Blade was a little earlier. We'll say Spider-Man. Sonic the Hedgehog will start off as the Spider-Man franchise of video game movies. Like, whereas in the early 2000s we had Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3, which was successful. And then ultimately led later on into stuff like Iron Man 1, which really signified the beginning of superhero movies taking over Hollywood. We had Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2, both of which are great, by the way. Way better than they had any right to be. And then Super Mario Brothers is definitely the Iron Man 1. Dang, these mans are mad today. That was a lot of arc death. But Super Mario Brothers is going to wind up being the Iron Man 1 of the video game sort of takeover of Hollywood. I 100% believe that's where we're going. It's going to be a lot of video game movies coming forward. You're probably going to see some other animated features from Illumination. And you got to know, the people at Illumination are dancing on the rooftops because they nailed it. They nailed it. They did a great job with Mario, which means Nintendo is no doubt going to basically contract them for the rest of the animated feature films that they want to make. So they're probably going to be the ones who are going to be allowed to make something like a Star Fox or a Metroid. Oh gosh. And with Nintendo, there's so much content Nintendo could pull from there that would be perfect for animated kids movies. You're probably going to see a Legend of Zelda movie sometime soon. And shoot, Star Fox. I think Star Fox would work great as as not a movie, but an animated series. A Star Fox animated series, I think, would be phenomenal. And you're going to see this. You're going to see this all over the place. But the thing, I'll tell you what the number one moneymaker is going to wind up being. When, and they've technically already explored this for a little bit, but this is what the number one moneymaker is going to be, and it's going to be the kill shot to a company like Disney's animation, their animation fronts, DreamWorks. It's going to bury them. When Nintendo decides to make an animated Pokemon movie. And I know we had Detective Pikachu, which was great. It was surprisingly good. I put that out there with alongside Sonic the Hedgehog as being some of the things that proved the concept could work. But the moment Nintendo greenlights an animated Pokemon movie, it's over. A lot of people don't realize that the number one children's franchise in the world, it's not Disney. It's nothing to do with Disney. It's nothing to do with Marvel. It's Pokemon. Pokemon makes more money than all of those other franchises almost combined. It's ludicrous how much money the Pokemon company makes. And they're still they're a separate company from Nintendo, but they're still basically run by Nintendo. If you want to know how Nintendo has survived some sometimes lackluster video game console errors like the Wii U and all of that, it's because sometimes Pokemon alone keeps them alive. Pokemon makes way more money than basically every franchise in the world. It's crazy. And the moment Nintendo greenlights a series of Pokemon films, whether those are going to be original stories or Pokemon films based on the original games. It's like you get a game based on the adventures of Red and Kanto and all of that. It's over. It's absolutely over. And they can run that coinciding with the anime that's ongoing. Oh my goodness. You're talking about infinite money. You thought the Marvel movies made some cash. Nah, the moment Nintendo greenlights Pokemon, it's gonna be wild. Whew. So I'm up on Rumble, but it's giving me a lot of verify stuff to chat on there. Oh, did you get it worked out though? Yeah, Rumble, they do account verification now, which I'm never a fan of. Anytime a website's like, hey, what's your phone number? Like, why do you need to know that? But as I understand it, they do it for anti-spam purposes, basically. Most people who are running spam accounts won't have a phone number, like a legit phone number tied to them. Well, no fun, these guys. We're getting supers back quick enough. Whew. You haven't seen the Super Mario Bros. Movie? I went to see it opening weekend while wearing Mario's Fire Flower hat. It was unbelievable. You must see it. Yeah, I couldn't get any free time. For the past couple weeks, I've been working basically 6-day work weeks. And I'm finally getting a little bit of a weekend this week. I've got a 3-day weekend this week, so I figured I'd take some time to see it. But then I noticed it's already out on streaming platforms, which, by the way, should also tell you how much money it's making. It's in theaters and it's on streaming platforms right now. Oh, Sag. We murked the mans. I can't believe I ran that entire live stream yesterday without having a medal on. I was just missing out on, or without having the class item on, so I was missing out on medals. Mario Bros. Movie is actually pretty good. Saw it and John Wick 4. Excellent. Steve says, Mario Bros. Movie was really good. I'm hoping to see my girl Daisy in the second movie. Oh, you know there's got to be another one coming. That made way too much money for them to basically not start an entire franchise. Yo, David Fear, what's up over there on the Rumble side of things? Says, happy I found a Destiny streamer on Rumble. Yes, sir. We've been, I've been on Rumble for a couple years now. Been streaming on Rumble for the past few months. Great experience. This platform is so much better than YouTube. As an old school YouTuber, believe me, it means a lot to have a place that doesn't engage in Orwellian censorship over the smallest things.
Beneath the ruins of a cosmic room.
Marcus says it was fine, just telling me to verify when it was all. Yeah, I'm never a fan of that sort of thing. I get why they do it, though. I get why platforms like Rumble rely on verification as an anti-spam sort of thing. Agent Bowser says, watched it, quite good. Peach was a bit too girl boss IMO, so the inevitable sequel having Daisy set a high bar. Yeah, they kind of gave her a little bit of Daisy's personality from what I've seen, but she doesn't seem to be a girl boss. Maybe you'll correct me on this, but she doesn't seem to be a girl boss in the vein of we'll say current Marvel girl bosses, where it's like she girl bosses at the expense of the main character. Like at no moment does she make Mario feel unnecessary. At least from what I've heard. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Just recently made the switch to Rumble, so slowly growing my base of streamers to watch while at work. Yeah, I'm trying to get as many people as I can to hop over to Rumble. It's they've really done a great job as of late of kind of upping their streaming capabilities, because it used to be bad. Oh man, believe me, there's a reason that nobody used to stream on Rumble. It was very, very rough back in the day. They made it, one, you either had to pay, like have a paid account to live stream, or you had to have above a certain follower count. I think they still do the follower account thing. But for their streaming setup, you basically had to set up a different stream key page every single time you wanted to live stream. You had to upload a 30-second to 1-minute video clip that would play continuously until you were ready to stream. They kind of made you jump through a lot of hoops, and as of late, they've been making a lot of quality of life changes. Like, they've got live chat now, that's pretty new to Rumble. They've got emotes. For those of you who are over there on the Rumble side of things, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, rumble.com/theblack link, you can find a link to it in the description and in the pinned comment over on YouTube. You've got emotes. We've got emotes in chat for everybody on Rumble now. And a couple of premium ones if you want to become a channel member. That's awesome. YouTube still hasn't done that for everybody. You can get emotes if you become a channel member on YouTube, but they're just there on Rumble, which is great. I love that. That's one of the things that Twitch did right as a streaming platform. People love emotes. Give them to them. I love this build. Between the Devour, the Volatile, and Repulsor Brace, it's just, you're unkillable and you're destroying absolutely everything. Fair. Bloop. Got Disney sweating hard. Oh, dude. If there were ever a moment for Disney to panic, Disney's had some rough years because of their stupid decision making. They've had, Marvel movies aren't making as much money as they used to. Guardians 3 is good, apparently. I might go see that this weekend, too. I might just make this weekend a movie weekend. But the last couple of Marvel offerings have not done well. Thor 3 was not great. Man, I feel bad for Chris Hemsworth, because good lord, it's not his fault. That was a questionable film. Contrary to what a lot of people say, Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, I don't think was a great movie. It wasn't great. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. That was not my favorite Marvel film. Nowhere near. It wasn't great. Star Wars is, well, in the trash can. Disney's been losing money all over the place, but I don't think they've been too worried because they're Disney. If there's anything that's going to get Disney worried, it's Nintendo going full on into animation. that happens, it's over for Disney. Like, it's completely over. It's never been more over than it is now for them. My God, can you imagine? Can you imagine what happens the moment Nintendo greenlights a Pokemon series of movies? It's absolutely over. Kids everywhere, kids all around the world will be going to see that. Star Fox anime done by Studio Trigger or Perot, boy, and I think that, man, I would much prefer we got a Star Fox series rather than movies. I think Star Fox would work much better as a serialized show. God, it'd be so good. It'd be so good. Legend of Zelda's probably going to be a movie, and a lot of people are speculating, like, oh, well, which Zelda are they gonna interpret for the film? I think that goes one of two ways. It's either Ocarina of Time or a completely original story, and I would bet completely original story. They'll probably just do a retelling of like Zelda 1, but you know. Zelda 1 had less of a story and just more of a series of goals to reach. But yeah, it's probably going to be an original story, which is fine. Hey, no. No hiding. Pokemon cannot be beaten by any game. No, it's the biggest children's franchise in the world. It makes way more money than everybody else. It's unbelievable how much money Pokemon makes. Yo, the homie Houndish. What's up, brother? Okay, no. It's good to see you. I didn't even recognize it until I took a look at the name there. I just saw the Pokemon comment. Yo, go check out Houndish, one of my old homies. Former contributor to Planet Destiny, like myself. Dude is a gigantic YouTuber. Got the big boy YouTuber pants on. Make sure you go and peep him out. He actually, covers the game, unlike me. I'm retired. I just play on streams every now and again. Good to see you, man. How have you been? Man tried to reflect my grenade and kill me with it because he definitely succeeded. I just got clowned on. How embarrassing. Absolutely clowned on by the Fallen. Can't let it happen again, not twice. Yeah, man, the moment Nintendo greenlights Pokemon, it's over. What do you put up against it? And that's why I was saying Illumination, they have got to be dancing from the rooftops because they nailed it with the Mario movie. And we know how Nintendo works. Basically, they like to put up a contract and then work with a very small number of companies that they trust with their franchises. Illumination is proved. They've proven that they'll do well with Nintendo's franchises. And so, they're probably going to be trusted with at least, if not Mario movies going forward, then probably Mario movies and one other franchise. We're going to be in an interesting age of video game movies. Yeah, Marcus Houndish is over there on YouTube, popping in to say hey. I didn't like the Mario movie that much. Really? What did you dislike about it, Houndish? I've heard mostly good things about it. Need you to stay frozen, thank you. almost thought I didn't get the insult to injury there. Correct. Thanks to Nintendo pulling that back when they watched the initial screening. Yeah, I read something about that. Well, which isn't surprising. Nintendo gives a very hands-on approach with everything that they do when they, farm stuff out to third-party companies. And I heard that they were very involved in the process for creating the Mario movie, and they overrode Illumination on several story bits, which I'm okay with. I mean, that's their baby. That's their big money maker. They damn well better be making sure that they're that they're keeping it 100 there. Disney needs to get out of this remake classic animations crap. I 100% agree. It's like, what was the first one they did? Was it Aladdin or The Lion King? Like, they made money on the first one and just decided, all right, well, that's all we are now. We're just going to remake the 90s movies, but worse. Here, hold this. Yeah, I haven't been a fan of them. Let's see, I watched the remake of Aladdin. I didn't watch The Lion King. I watched Beauty and the Beast. That one was truly awful. Aladdin wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it also wasn't good. Wasn't what I'd call good. Ironically, the most entertaining part of it was, the most entertaining part of the 90s Aladdin, Genie. Will Smith didn't do as awful of a job as I thought he would. He was fairly entertaining. But I don't remember the rest of the movie outside of the scenes with Will Smith. So that should kind of tell you about it. Beauty and the Beast was not great. Didn't enjoy that one. What other live-action remakes have they done? I'm not looking forward to Little Mermaid. I question the decision-making behind remaking that film. Oh, Mulan. I watched like 45 minutes of Mulan and turned it off. When it became... Like, listen, if you're not going to give me I'll Make a Man Out of You, why am I even watching? Why am I even watching this? If you're not going to give me Mushu, why am I even watching this? I did think it was funny how it became, because Mulan is supposed to be like the ultimate girl power story. It's her proving that she can do whatever a boy could, that girls have the same value as boys. And then they introduce like some weird witch who then becomes like, they just stop fighting at the end of the movie because girl power. It's like, you know what, girl? You're a girl and I'm a girl. So, ignore all the evil things I've done throughout this film. We're cool now. Wait, what? I don't know. The plot in the live action Mulan made very little sense to me. Oh, I forgot about Jungle Book. I didn't watch that one either. Just found out they're doing a Ghostbusters 4. The one, what was it, Ghostbusters Afterlife that came out 2 years ago? That was not bad. That was not bad at all. Way better than the movie, what was it, Ghostbusters in 2016? I don't think it had a subtitle, rather. But yeah, Afterlife was pretty good. I was entertained by that. But it was, Ghostbusters Afterlife, I think that's what it was called. It was basically a love letter to the original Ghostbusters film. You guys couldn't, wait for 5K more? Yeah, okay. Good thing I don't need this platinum. To note, Oriental Lights and Magic has been the studio for Pokemon TV series and movies for decades now. Would be a major shift to have them and Illumination work on the same IP. I don't know if they'd have Illumination work on Pokemon. Because I feel like that would be stretching Illumination a little too thin. I think I'd imagine they'd keep Mario with Illumination and maybe add a Donkey Kong franchise to them. But we're probably gonna see a Pokemon series of films coming. It's gonna happen. Other thing Disney's worried about is they're developing a card game to compete with Magic the Gathering. I'm sure that'll go great. Granted, magic is kind of trash now, too. Dump off these medals and hop back into it. Hey, Shiloh, how you doing, girl? You doing all right today? Well, I see how it is. I miss one stream and I don't get notifications when you go live. Rest in peace. I'm sorry, I promised to send you notifications. They took the love story as motivation out of The Little Mermaid. Did they really? But wait, isn't what was his name? David? Isn't David still in the story? Like, so what's going to be her motivation for getting legs? Because it wasn't just that she wanted to be on land where the people were. She wanted to be on land where the people were, and she saw this really hot guy. I love the 90s Little Mermaid. Listen, I'm a grown ass man. I can say it. Eric, Prince Eric, that's it. But I love the 90s movies. And I love that. This girl was like, "Man, I'm enamored by human culture. I'd love to be a human." Goes up and sees a shipwrecked dude. She's like, "Oh my god, he's gorgeous. I have to go to land now." That's great. That's perfect motivation. I'm not even memeing. That is perfect motivation. That is good enough. Girl was like, listen. She was like, "Listen, I like you and I want you. And if that means I've got to turn these fins into legs and make a deal with Ocean Melissa McCarthy, then I'm gonna do it." It was real. That was real stuff.
Just browsing, are we?
I don't need to shove this into anything. I've been experimenting a little bit with Rain of Fire. Now that we have, just a plethora of different weapon buffs, it's pretty good, but it still needs a little something. Of course, you use it in tandem with Vex Mythoclast, but still needs a little something to the nerf they did to Vex a little while back. You still really feel it in both PvP and PvE. But it's not bad. Still working on that one. Gotta make sure I leave those alone because I do not want to screw up my minor amount of XP that I'll be getting next season. Shiloh says, "I'm not a child, Daddy. I'm 16. And Shiloh, because that's literally what every 16-year-old girl says. I mean, that was real talk. That's how every 16-year-old girl talks to her dad. "I'm not a child, and I love him." Dad's sitting there looking at her like, "Uh-huh. Yeah, uh-huh." But it was real. I mean, that's real. That's how it goes when you're young. You see that hottie over there and you're like, "Oh, it's time for me to change my entire life for that person." Your parents just have to roll their eyes and roll with it. Can't blame you getting platinum in this week's Guardian Games Nightfall. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. You got to find the right team to get platinum or have a little luck. Yeah, you have to sit back and basically farm out all of the waves of ads in the final boss there, and you can't really miss any of the invisible vandals on your way to the boss. It definitely takes a little bit of it takes a little bit of effort, and if you have a team, if you've got some teammates who are just speed running through, you'll never get it. Thankfully, I've gotten the platinum for it already, so getting platinum now is just for, ego purposes. And get some extra rewards. Put that platinum medal here yet? Yep.
Yes.
They're doing a live action Lilo and Stitch? Yeah, I saw something about that. I really don't understand why they're so focused on that right now. Is creative at Disney really... Yo, it's Texas Red. Hold on, I gotta swap over to the big iron. No distractions. Kill clip. Fire demo. You know what? Rose counts as a big iron. What you trying to play, Texas Red? You trying to step up to the man with the big iron on his hip? That's what I thought. But yeah, I really don't get. I don't get Disney's desire to continue making these live-action remakes. Like, is their creative department so bankrupt right now that like that's all they can do? They can't just come up with something new? I don't know. Hold on one sec while we're loading into this. I'll be right back. Gotta go grab a drink. Sparkling ice, of course.
The fallen will continue to claw at the walls of our city unless we strike them down. Beneath the ruins of a Cosmodrome, in the shadow of an old colony ship, we've located the House of Devil's Lair, and the High Servitor, feeding them their strength. We must destroy this machine god.
There we go.
And send their souls
Sparkling ice firmly in hand. We are rejuvenated. Ariel to human culture is like me with Japanese culture. Yes, I'm a weeb, but not that kind of weeb. Yeah! That's actually a perfect way to describe it. Ariel was a weeb. she was an otaku. And also, again, she was like, ooh, all dark and handsome. Hop on it. They use the big iron for a little bit, just in honor of Texas Red. Those who don't catch the joke, it's a reference to a song. Very good song. Big iron on his hip. God, Rose feels good. Listen. Comp is absolute objective garbage. It's not great. But Rose is phenomenal. You should run your couple of games of comp, get your Rose, and then dip. Yo, PG, what's up, man? Good to see you. I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Today is technically my Friday. I've got tomorrow off and Saturday off since I've been working, I've been working 6-day work weeks for the past couple weeks. Finally got a little extra time off, so I'm doing good. I just got to survive today at work, and I'm good. Oh, I forgot to emote. And go on the wall? That's interesting. They're rumored to be changing the agent from the buff man to Mrs. Kakoa, the social worker. That can't be real. They can't... Bubbles is half of the humor in... Bubbles is... Agent Bubbles is half the humor in Lilo and Stitch. There's no way they could be getting rid of Agent Bubbles, right? Like, we could all acknowledge that'd be a very stupid decision, right? There's no way that could be real. And again, that's exactly what I've been complaining about with Disney. Like, why do a 90s nostalgia bait remake of 90s era classic Disney animated films if you're not going to at least loosely follow those films? I don't understand it. How do you feel about all that, Shiloh? Because I know you got kids. How do you feel about Disney remaking all of their 90s classics in live action? Have you enjoyed any of them? I'd say about the only one that I didn't outright dislike was, what did I say, Aladdin? Yeah, because I didn't see Lion King. I saw Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast was awful. Aladdin was okay. And I don't know if I saw any of the rest of them. God, this SMG is good. Gotcha, homie. Got the right idea. We should be tossing. That's one of the other ways to properly farm up this particular Nightfall. Got to keep that gold ability empowerment going and just constantly use supers. Get a lot of bonus points for using supers. You kind of have to take advantage of that. Hey, where did the void orbs go? There are too many arc webs. Holy moly. I really wanted to like Beauty and the Beast, but it played like a fever nightmare, right? Like, they even screwed up my dude Gaston. Come on, man. How do you screw up the manly man? He didn't seem manly, he just seemed like a weird beta. No one simps like Gaston. Is a wimp like Gaston. Yeah, maybe that's why I didn't like Beauty and the Beast. You deserve it, thank you. Aladdin. Oh, did you like Aladdin, Shiloh? That's like the one that I think that I didn't hate. It wasn't great, but I did like it. One of the things I did like about it was like all the like Bollywood style dance routines they did in it. I enjoyed that. I thought that was pretty good. And like I said, most of what I remember of Aladdin, like most of what I liked in it, is exactly what I liked in the original Aladdin, which is Genie. I was pleasantly surprised by Will Smith as Genie. Going, going, boys. Get that orb thing. I loved Gaston's actor, but he wasn't the Chad he needed to be. Yeah, like, exactly. I mean, Gaston was always a bit of, you know, he was always supposed to be that chauvinistic kind of macho man. He was just kind of a weird stalkery simp in, in that movie. It was weird. It was very weird. Gaston. Not the manly man we needed him to be. Ooh, 124. Probably not going to hit that 175 on this one either. Yo, Harbinger, good to see you, man. It's going well. Getting in on this Vanguard farm while we still got it. Yeah, I wouldn't know about the Lion King. I'm glad they brought back James Earl Jones for, Mufasa. That's neat. But I didn't watch it, so I can't form an opinion on that. But yeah, I do wish Disney would move kind of away from the whole, let's remake 90s classics, and why don't you try making some new classics? Although, again, with some of the writing issues going on there, maybe they can't. Just ain't got the juice. Nova Warp is juicy for this strike. Yeah, you mentioned that yesterday. I might try that out on the next run. Nice. So you've seen the exact same ones as I have, Shiloh. I'll ask you a follow-up question. Are you excited for The Little Mermaid? I haven't really looked into much about it. Given that I don't like the rest of the Disney live-action films, I don't think I'd like The Little Mermaid either. But Jay, fine, fair enough. Probably not a movie made for me. There we go. Next wave popping up. Doing pretty well, actually. I don't know if we've got... We actually might hit 175. Okay. Oh. We have maybe one more ad phase left. We do! Oh, we can do it, boys. I'm kind of far away for you to be meleeing me. Hello? Cautiously optimistic? Yeah, I mean, I hope it's not bad. But I don't have a lot of faith. I don't have a lot of faith. But TBL, Ariel looks just like us now. Oh, you mean because she's black? Yeah, it's a little weird for a Scandinavian mermaid to to come out darker skinned. I don't care so much about that. I hope they're not using that as a selling point, because that's not it's not a selling point. The mermaid is black now. Well, yeah, but there were already black mermaids. There was one in, like, the second Little Mermaid movie. Well done, boys. You can color me surprised. If you properly hit the ad phases, you can get, what was that, 50,000? You got 50,000 additional points in this? That's phenomenal. This crew is top tier. Ariel looks just like me. I can identify with it now. Because I'm a mermaid. Oh, is he using Ashen Wake? This Titan is a Chad. This man is a Chad. Oh, that's the hunter. Rest in peace. Can I not inspect the other one anymore? This man running around with fusion grenades and the Osteostriga. 8,956 kills on a retraced path. Sub incandescent. This is a birdie boy. Oh man. Right. I'm a merman. Yeah, I don't need to seek representation in my Disney movies. I hope they're not using that as a selling point for the film. 'Cause that's not a reason to go watch a movie, because you got a black protagonist. Oh right, gotta change to Nova Warp. Let me give that a shot. I mean, could you imagine if that is their selling point for the film? Imagine what that says. Like, hey, look, we got a character who looks like you. You'll come spend money here now, right? No. No, I mean, no. As a man with a little bit of experience being a black guy, I don't know if I don't know if I need a movie to have a black character for me to go see it. You seen the memes of Ariel? The spacing between her eyes gets wider every time. Well, listen, Halle Bailey, her eyes are pretty far apart. Great, she's a phenomenal artist though. That girl has got a voice. That's pretty much the only reason I didn't really question her casting as Ariel, because Little Mermaid is a musical. There's a lot of just like pretty much almost all of the 90s Disney movies were. And if there's somebody who could belt out part of your world, it's her. Girl's got a voice on her. And I hope that's why they hired her, and not because she's a black girl. Because that's more insulting to me as a black dude than anything else. You mean to tell me you didn't hire this girl because of her incredible voice? You hired her because you wanted to make a black Ariel? That's weird and insulting. Ellis says Ariel was my favorite princess when I was a kid, so I want it to be good. But yeah, I don't know Halle, but so I don't want the racial inclusivity to disappoint the little Shiloh in my heart. Well, she can sing. I can confirm that. The girl can sing. So I'm looking forward to an incredible rendition of Part of Your World. But we got a speedrunner amongst us. I just hope they don't change the story up too much. Like, this had better still be a story of an otaku mermaid who just wants to be in sweet, glorious Nippon, which is also known as the human world, who sees a hot white guy and is like, I have got to get my fins around that. That had damn well better still be the core story here. That's what would make me mad. If this little fish girl isn't super horny for the first white man she sees. That's what this needs to be. It'll be an outrage if that isn't the main tale. Tale as old as time. Song as old as rhyme. White girl and the Schmied. I would belt that out as a kid, and my sisters would make fun of me. That's because they were just jealous of you. They were jealous that they didn't have your joy and your beauty. But yeah. Like, that's, 70% of the reason why I love all of those 90s classic films. It's the music. And so if you're gonna do this, you gotta get some people who can sing at least. And Halle can sing. She does have an awesome voice, and really the music makes me wants to see it. But the story change has really gotten me scared. Not sure if I will. Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't. I hope they don't change up the story too much. The way they've been responding to criticism gives me the impression it's about race. Oh, God, I hope not. Because even more insulting to me, even more than it being insulting to me, that would be insulting to Halle. Someone who's legitimately a phenomenal artist, who can legitimately sing, coming up against the realization, oh, they didn't hire me because I can sing. They hired me because they wanted a black mermaid princess, and I'm black. Oh, God, that'd be the worst. I hope that's not the case. I know there's douchebags out there, but their negative reactions aren't helping. Well, Disney has famously not responded to criticism very well. Remember Captain Marvel? That garbage film? They were like, oh, you don't like this movie because you hate women. I was like, well, I mean, I hate the portrayal of women in that movie. You're right, Nova Bomb is pretty good for this Harbinger. You get a lot more potential for kills than do with just Nova Bomb. I'm glad they rebuffed Nova Warp. It needed it. Ooh. I hear you trying to blow up behind me. I hope it's not trash, but I do not have high hopes for it. None whatsoever. Their last offerings have not inspired confidence. Isn't Bungie buffing Nova Warp again? I do believe so. You haven't seen my sisters. I look like a man in comparison. Shiloh, you know you can lie to everybody else. You can't lie to me. I've seen you. I know what you look like. You know good and well they hired her because she's black? I hope not. This thing, I hope not. I wouldn't put it past Disney, especially these days. Oh, good lord. But I hope not. Granted, I haven't really been following the development of the movie, so I don't know any of the press releases or anything they've talked about with it. You know, I'm going to do something really stupid. I am going to crutch on Nova Warp and devour. Surprised I survived that. Yeah, because like I said, Darkon, I mean, that's as... I don't know what ethnicity you are. I'm pretty sure you're black. We've talked about that before, but like, isn't that more insulting? To be hired for a role specifically because like you're black when it's not necessarily like an ethnically focused role. It's like it's not like they're making Little Mermaid in the Hood, where maybe you'd wanna specifically hire somebody black. It's just Little Mermaid, which is, you know, the tale of a Scandinavian, Scandinavian red-headed mermaid. I guess I could see them hiring her just to do kind of a social, political sort of thing. But I hope that's not the case because that'd be so insulting to her. Especially considering the girl can sing. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really followed any of the movie's development. Haven't watched any of the trailers for it. I think I did see something about that one weird talking Asian chick. Oh, what is her name? Awkwafina. She's in it, right? Sidebar. Oh, I'm a judge now? We're running a sidebar? The Marvels will probably bomb. Oh, absolutely. That's something we were talking about a little earlier. Marvel's latest offerings outside of Guardians. Guardians is doing pretty well. But some of the movies they've had before that haven't done so well. Same thing for some of their Disney Plus series, and now they're a little worried about upcoming Disney Plus series like Loki 2. Well, Loki Season 2, rather. The Marvels. We got a trailer for that a couple weeks ago. Haven't really watched it, so I don't know. I don't know. But I don't have high hopes for that either. It's probably going to bomb. Another what's beautiful about this version of The Little Mermaid is that it's a lot more modern. Anytime I see any company say that. Anytime. Absolutely anytime I see somebody say, we're adapting this for a modern audience. Immediate red flag. It's like, oh no. Could you not adapt it for a modern audience? And say we did? Usually a bad sign. Oh, chill, dog. It's just a pub. Yeah, Harbinger, you were absolutely right. Nova Warp feels pretty good in here. Good for hitting multiple ads. You can use it multiple times, so you get way more kills than Cataclysm. Not bad. Not bad at all. Get him. Scatter grenades are so good with nothing manacles. Getting all those benefits. Again, technically you get the benefits of all three of the Void Warlock aspects. Super good. Here, boys. Nope. Nicely done. Yeah, we're consistently hitting platinum now. Good stuff. Took my 10-year-old and 14-year-old to the movies, and the 14-year-old wanted to see Guardians, but I thought that movie was a little too disturbing. Mutilated animals for the 10-year-old, so he saw D&D. Yeah, I heard Dungeons and Dragons wasn't awful. Which I was expecting it to be garbage. And yeah, 10 is probably a little young for Guardians. Absolutely love D&D. It was such a great movie. Played like you're actually watching a D&D session live. It did a great job with it. Yeah, it's my older brother was watching it the other day. I went and visited him and came in while he was in the middle of watching it. And I watched like maybe 5-10 minutes of it before I had to leave. Didn't look bad. Didn't look bad at all. Max Gold plus Nezarek equals faster cooldowns. Yeah, man, it's good stuff. Also, Disney needs to stop putting black actors in the firing line or using them as shields against criticism. Yeah, they did that to that poor girl who played Rose Tico in Star Wars. Like, they pretended that all the criticism of The Last Jedi was about her. Like, oh, it's just a bunch of racists who dislike this actress. Come on. Don't do that. Don't you throw somebody out to the wolves and point all of the focus of the internet and the world at them and say, oh, yeah, it's because of this person. It's because of this person that this movie's not doing well. No, it was just not a great Star Wars movie.
We begin then.
Last Jedi was not a great Star Wars movie.
Let's see what we can do.
Hey, Ava, I'll take another one of the usuals. Thank you. Let's see what kind of rolls we got.
Checking now.
Pugilist, gut shot, straight. Great. Oh, by the way, I'm a moron. For the past couple weeks I've been farming for titles, and I was hoping to get a Cascade Point one. Why did you guys tell me Cascade Point doesn't drop on the title? I only realized that yesterday after yesterday's stream. I went and was farming a few other things, and I went on to light.gg because I was testing to see what the maximum range you could get on a title was, and only then did I realize Cascade Point doesn't drop on the title. I felt silly, but I got a good laugh at it, so I figured I'd tell you guys. Still some pretty darn good PvP options on that. Gutshot Straight Hatchling, good combo. We've already got a Masterworked one with that. Threat Detector Swashbuckler. Honestly, like I said during the first week of Guardian games, if you're someone who's just looking for workable versions of both the Terra and the title itself, just complete the quest. The initial quests for Guardian games give you 2 god-rolled versions, of those guns. The one they give you right here is literally perfect. It's great for PvE, I would pick Perpetual Motion over Envious Assassin any day. Yeah, just Arrowhead Break, Ricochet, keep on Perpetual Motion, and if you're in PvE, Repulsor Brace. If you're in PvP, Rangefinder. Like, it's actually a perfect roll. The same thing for the Scout Rifle as well. Although that, there are rolls that are worth farming out on this. In particular, stuff like Outlaw, Cascade Point on it. Top tier. Bunch of 1810s in here. Gotta do something with. I wish the Swarm was better. I guess this is technically a decent PvP roll, but really, do you need Rangefinder on an LMG in PvP? It's helpful, yeah, if you're trying to Scout Rifle map people, but you're killing in 3 shots with an LMG anyway. I don't know. Yeah, White Direwolf. They, technically that's what they did with that Amazon that Amazon led Lord of the Rings show. Did you guys watch that? I did. It was garbage. Oh my goodness, was it garbage. I'm so mad about that. Because literally, every single news organization, every media entity, which is probably the first red flag, we're all singing its praises. Like, oh, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power is amazing. It was trash. From episode 1, that show was trash. And good lord, have they just dookied all over Tolkien's legacy. Good golly, that show was garbage. Oh my goodness. Actually, okay, Nezarek. 15 res, 13 dis. I'm pretty sure I got a better one though. And yeah, and just White Direwolf, to kind of tie that in with what you're saying about, what they're doing with classic writers. I don't want them anywhere near C.S. Lewis's classics. We don't need another Narnia. I don't need a Narnia interpreted for modern audiences. I'll take my Jesus Lion the way he was in the book. Let's whip out that other Nezarek too we got on that one. $13 dis, 26 dis, 13 res, 15 recovery. Yeah, this is the one we're gonna keep. This is something I could use in a 100 build. That is what we call a little bit of a POG champion.
Don't forget. Wait, what was it?
Journalists were in cope and seethe mode about Rings of Power. Absolutely. Good. It was hilarious. It's hilarious how bad Rings of Power was. And they wasted like $100 million on Rings of Power? Was it more than that? However much they spent on it was too much. Let's grab a hothead. I never got a god-rolled hothead. The game refused to give me one.
Checking.
Auto-loading Thresh, a Garbaggio. Next game. What time is it? About 1? I got a little bit of time.
It's a promise.
Rings of Power suck. Couldn't make it past episode 2. After the first episode, I was like, okay. This is gonna be bad. I'm gonna watch it to see how bad it gets. And man, it just kept getting worse. Oh boy, it just kept getting worse. Hilariously though, I thought it was funny as could be. Like they spent,
beneath the ruins of the Cosmodrome.
Oh my god, just an unfathomable amount of money on that garbage. Woo!
We must destroy this.
And Amazon, they're the ones who are in charge of making the 40K show now, right? I can only hope that Rings of Power bombed so hard that they're going to that they're probably secretly celebrating about this whole writer's strike going on right now, because it means they'll probably be able to get non-guild, non-garbage writers in there for the Warhammer show, and hopefully they'll leave some of the planning for that to the people who are actually interested in 40K lore, like Henry Cavill. I just don't. I don't get it. Like, wouldn't you want to make money on this endeavor? Why? Then you're making a show for a specific audience on a specific property that has a very dedicated, very, very dedicated fan base that clearly is willing to spend money all the time for figurines, for new boards. How do you milk them? Well, simple. You cater to them. Delve deep into the lore. And they've got an opportunity to do that. We got a little bit of that with Witcher Season 1, which was pretty good. Not the greatest thing ever, but Witcher Season 1 was... I will argue the first season of The Witcher was pretty darn good. Season 2, not great. And now that Henry Cavill's no longer a part of it, I do not care about Season 3. Especially now that I've read some of the stories about it. Did you guys read those articles that came out about Witcher? From like that lady who was a part of the writing team who was super mad because, oh, Henry Cavill, he was such a problem on set because he was always wanting to rewrite scenes and complaining about how some scenes that they were writing for him didn't really comport with what happened in the book. And I'm sitting here like, wait, you all are complaining about that? And you're writing this article as if it makes Henry Cavill look bad? That's exactly what I want. I want somebody on set who's read the books, who's read Andre's books, and is trying to keep things at least somewhat tied to the actual Witcher lore. That's odd me a lot. Like, oh my goodness, these people actually don't care about the source material at all. That's not a good sign. Why are you writing a show for The Witcher if you're not a fan of The Witcher? Attempting to properly adapt The Witcher. Could have finished him, but okay. That article was so funny. Because the lady who wrote it and the lady she was like interviewing were like seemingly certain that their point of view was the right one in that, oh, they needed to get Henry Cavill off set and it's a good thing that he's gone because, oh, he just kept trying to keep them, you know, tied to the events of the books and the way the characters are portrayed there, and that's just not the story they wanted to tell. And I'm sitting here like, I mean, good. That's exactly what he should have been doing. I remember that interview he gave at the beginning of production for all of this, where he was like, yeah, you know, he's been a big fan of the Witcher novels for a while, and his one contingency for playing Geralt was that they had to keep it accurate to the characters from the books. He didn't want to be playing fan fiction here. He wanted to see these characters brought to life in a way that accurately represented the books. That was the one condition he had on playing this role. Remember, they were actively seeking him for this role, and I'm glad they did because he did a great job playing Geralt of Rivia. But now they're complaining that that's exactly what he did. He wanted to be book and lore accurate. That's just not what we wanted to do. Like, clearly, you and your writers team are the problem here. You all shouldn't have been on The Witcher. I'll never understand that. Why are you writing for that product if that's not the story you want to tell? It's so weird to me. Don't get me started on live action Halo. I refuse to watch that. I just engaged in all the memes about that show. I refuse to watch Halo. I love the Halo story, and I can't tolerate that being bastardized. Although I will say, the Cortana getting cucked scene was hilarious. That's too funny. That's way too funny. Master Chief, who's helmet off all the time for some strange reason now, is sitting there banging a Covenant spy, and Cortana just has to watch. Oh, what were they thinking? Oh, I accidentally chill clipped him. Oh god, that's funny. Cavill and his SO have the rights for the 40K show. Good. I hope they're gonna be hard asses about it. The same way Nintendo was with Illumination. Like, hey, these are our characters. This is the story. You are not to deviate from this. So that's why he was fired? Damn. Yeah, there's an article about it, Shiloh. You should look it up. but basically he was, air quotes, a problem on set because he would constantly request to have his scenes rewritten, and be in the writers' room talking about basically trying to hold them to being more lore accurate to the books and the characters of the novels. And they didn't like that. They wanted to tell their own story and, you know, change a bunch of nonsense. Like, one of the things they did in the show, in Season 2, spoilers if anybody hasn't watched Season 2, is they kill off Roach, Geralt's horse, his beloved horse, who's already questionable. And apparently they wanted to play it off as a joke in the show. And if you read the novels, Roach is his own character in the novels. He's a huge emotional linchpin. Kind of the same way, what was that horse's name? Artax in the Neverending Story. Kind of the same way Artax was. You remember when Atreyu lost Artax in the swamp? That messed me up as a kid. And that was that's kind of the sort of relationship and emotional connection that Geralt has with Roach. And if you've played the Witcher games, which by the way did a phenomenal job of adapting those stories, making changes here and there, but still doing a good job of telling some of those stories. If you've played those games, you know Roach. You probably love Roach. And they wanted to kill it, and well, they didn't just want to, they killed him off. And they did it in a goofy way and wanted to have, like, Geralt basically telling a joke about his death. And Henry was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And apparently one of the things he did is he went over the writers' heads and rewrote that scene to be a bit more emotional. He couldn't get it changed so that they don't kill his horse. But he had basically the scene rewritten to not make light of the fact that Roach died. I'm sitting here like, y'all are telling this story as if it's a bad thing. That's good. That's exactly what I would have wanted him to do. As my only representative there, apparently, in the writer's room for The Witcher, of being a fan. Henry was like, not on my watch? Yeah. Yeah, but that's why they fired the sexy British man. Because he was holding the writers accountable. When I hear stories like that, I kind of look over at this writer strike and I'm like, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe you all not writing movies and shows for a little while isn't so bad. That's one roach you want to live forever. The actual insects, though, especially if they can fly, oh man, those palmetto bugs need to die. I mean, looking at them like, you fly? They fly now? They fly now! That's one good thing the Star Wars sequels were good for. Memes. I mean, not good memes like the prequel trilogy, but memes. Oh, I'll do it too early. It is Shiloh. That's not inaccurate, but he loves his damn horse. God, that's just got me thinking of Neverending Story now. The Atreyu and Artax. Save the horse. Screw the world. Screw the girl with no name. Save the horse. Got a package. Gotta deliver it. Bloop. I'm excited for the second Dune. Looks good. Yeah, the first Dune was a very pleasant surprise. It looked good, but it wound up being even better than what I would have expected. Very pleasantly surprised with Dune. Very much looking forward to the next one. My super baby. Thank you. Thank you. We just got to gold. Rest in peace. Yep, I definitely felt it in the final product. I cried. And that's good. Good on them for establishing that emotional connection. Yeah, if you didn't know, that's why if you didn't know why Henry Cavill left The Witcher, that's why. They wanted him out because he was too much of a stickler for details, apparently. Gosh, what a weird reason to get rid of your A-list actor, superstar. Not even like the usual stuff, like, oh, he was super sexist. No, he just... didn't want to be naked in every scene. I think that's something else they talked about. Like, they wanted him to do, like, nude scenes all over the place. And he was like, nah, I don't think so. And B, he was holding the writers accountable. Hollywood's doomed if they ever try to remake Never-Ending Story. Oh, expect it. Especially since, like, Hollywood's on, like, a binge right now of remaking 80s films, franchises. I need you to go away, boss, so I don't accidentally Nova Warp you. A very angry melee. Some of those writers must have big egos. I'll just take this amazing award-winning stories and do it better. Oh, they're all like that. Because they have to put their stamp on it, you know? Oh, yeah, see, that was my story. We made some big changes there. It's like, yeah, but why? Low spin, no cigar. Hey, Nameless Midnight. Haven't seen one of those for a while. What do you think about the I Am Legend 2 retconning the ending of the first movie? Yeah, they're going to be going with the director's cut ending, which I don't know. I actually kind of like it because I like the way the director's cut ending went. It I thought it was I can't remember if the way the director's cut ended is the canon way it ended in the book. It's been a long time since I read the book, or if it isn't. I don't quite remember, but I remember liking the director's cut ending better because it played to the point of the story, which was that humanity still exists, even with the monsters that are even with the monsters that are ravaging the world, even with those particular monsters, humanity still existed within them. It was what Will Smith's character was supposed to be realizing in that moment. That these things I've just been killing mercilessly and who have just been killing me mercilessly have now come to a realization that we're still human. And I thought that was a beautiful, beautiful way to kind of encapsulate the point of the story. And so I'm okay with it. I'm okay with them making a sequel to I Am Legend and just going with the director's cut ending rather than the theatrical ending. For those who never saw it, if you saw the theatrical ending to I Am Legend, you know Will Smith dies in the end. In a rather badass way, by the way. But if you got the DVD and the director's cut, basically, of it, they shot a second ending, and that ending is in the director's cut, where he survives. And he survives by basically treating the vampire monsters who are coming after him like they're human. And they basically come to an unspoken understanding. He gives them back, like, the guy's like the vampire monster's daughter or like mate or something, and then rather than killing him, he trusts them not to kill him while he gives her back to them, and then they just leave him alone. And so he not only learns that these things still have some amount of humanity still within them, which completely goes against his entire character from the entire movie, but he also learns that humanity does actually still exist outside of the city. I thought it was beautiful. It was a beautiful way to kind of hit the subtext of the film. And way more hopeful than the initial ending where, he dies and then the girl goes off to follow the radio signal and finds the other aspects of humanity with what they hope might be a cure. So yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. Bit long to wait for a sequel for that, but I'm alright with it. And if it spawns a resurgence of Will Smith in Hollywood, good. I like Will Smith. Yeah, he slapped Chris Rock. Shouldn't have done that. Yeah, he's a simp for a wife who abuses him. Shouldn't have done that. But hopefully this will be the revitalization of his career. And his way to finally escape Jada and start smashing Margot Robbie 24/7. Like he was always meant to do. Because those two were smashing on the set of Suicide Squad, right? Go back and watch some of the promotional material for that, where they're doing interviews together. Margot Robbie is all over Will Smith in those interviews. You can tell she's starstruck. Because back then, Will Smith was still probably one of the biggest names in Hollywood. And she was absolutely starstruck. He clapped those cheeks during production. And I hope he did. Screw Jada's cheating ass. She's a step up anyway. He needs to embrace his destiny, get away from that crazy woman. Aw. And go embrace his destiny and start smashing Margot Robbie's cheeks 24/7. That's the life I want you to live, Will. I don't care if Jaden or Willow look at you funny. Every time they ask you why you're not with mommy anymore, you point to that podcast she did talking about Jaden's friend and her what did she call it? Oh god, what was the cringe, embarrassing thing she called her affair? Entanglement. Her entanglement. God, that woman is so disrespectful. Could you imagine being Will Smith and getting disrespected by your wife like that? Oh my gosh. It's one awful thing to cheat. But she went and told the entire world for her podcast. Right there across the table from him. It probably took every ounce of, every fiber of his being to not grab her by her throat. Oh my goodness. We did it at the same time. I think we actually got double points for that. Nice. But yeah, hopefully I Am Legend 2 is good. Starts up another phase of Will Smith's career, because he's what, in his 50s now? He's still got some gas in the tank. Can we get a Hancock 2, please? Like, please? I was eagerly awaiting the sequel to Hancock. I liked that film. It was a lot more realistic of a superhero movie. Like, what if... I like that it answered the question of, well, if you have this super-powered being who can launch himself into the stratosphere with a leap, wouldn't that cause some collateral damage to the street that he's launching himself off of? And also, what happens when he goes busting into buildings to stop a bank robber or, like, a criminal? That's got to cause collateral damage and hurt other people. You have the heroic scene of a superhero stopping a train to keep a kid from... being, let's see, what was it in the movie? Because they address it in the film, and it's great. There's like a lady or something on train tracks, and and he goes and stops the train by, like, you know, like football shoulder checking the train. And like in the real world, you probably just killed the conductor of that train, or seriously injured a bunch of people who were on it, since the train came to an immediate stop that it wasn't expecting. Why wouldn't you just pick up the car and fly away? And somebody asks him that when after he destroys the train, like, why did you just pick the car up? I love that. I love that entire notion of the film, because it's answering questions that are real. Like, if you had these super-powered beings are just tearing up the town, yeah, sure, they stopped a bank robber, but they probably injured a bunch of people and destroyed a bunch of property in the process. Who pays for that? And so the notion of a superhero needing an HR department, that's great. It's a great concept for a film. Alright, I will save you boys now. So I'd love to see a Hancock 2. Carried by Devour. Thank you, Void Subclass. You are the GOAT. Stop running from me, little wiener. Oh my gosh, Overload Captains are the worst. Gotta emote before you do it, buddy. I did not hear about this. Cheating sucks. Oh my goodness. Wait, you didn't hear about what happened with Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith? Yeah, she cheated on him with, like, her son's 19-year-old friend, and then broadcast it to the world on her podcast, where she refused to call it cheating. She just said, "Oh, you know, I'm getting older, you know, you want to feel more appreciated and whatnot, and I got caught up in an entanglement." She refused to call it cheating. Right across, and she was doing this podcast with Will. You got to look up the memes from it, Shiloh. It's brutal. Will's face during this entire thing. You can just tell this man has been destroyed. She is an awful, awful person. She disrespects him all throughout that thing, and you can tell. This is probably one of the... I'll never advocate for divorce, because I wish people would work out their issues, because families are important, and it's awful to tear up a family. But this is one of those instances where it's like, yeah, you gotta divorce this hoe, man. She is for the streets. But I'm also pretty sure... Will Smith was smashing Margot Robbie when they were working together on the first Suicide Squad. And again, I'm just basing that off of a lot of the press and interviews they did together. You just kind of get that vibe. Go watch those press hearings and like the red carpet things. Margot Robbie is all over Will Smith. In the interviews, she's just she giggles at literally everything he says. She's like a starstruck girl, like fangirl in love, which is understandable because when that movie was coming out, like I said, Will Smith was top of Hollywood. One of the highest paid actors there. Legendary actor. And so she was a little starstruck by it. I am 100% certain she was slurping on the Fresh Prince. But yeah, Jada is an awful, awful person. Good Lord. That joke from the Boondocks resonates with me. With the episode with Usher, where Tom was getting disrespected by Sarah in front of Usher, and the waiter looks at him and is like, "Sorry, man. Wouldn't let that shit happen to me, though." No way. I gotta go make me an orb. Perhaps just one orb, please? Oh my god, Arc Web. Why do you exist? There we go. Good job, boys. Whew. Get him! Bruh. Emote before you finish. You're missing out on so many points. Oh well, it's fine. We're at like 143 right now. We're good. We should be able to hit. We should be able to hit 175. Excuse me, that's messed up. Oh man, you guys never saw those podcasts with Jada and Will? They were brutal. It was brutal what this woman has done to that man. And she's talked about if Tupac was alive, she would never have married Will because she was in love with Tupac. And you don't say that sort of thing to your husband. You don't say it to anybody, but least of all to your husband. Oh my goodness, it's awful. That woman has destroyed that man. And I get she'd probably be a nightmare in the divorce, but you're Will Smith. You'll be okay. Divorce her now before you make that I Am Legend money. That I Am Legend 2 money. Listen, we talk about parasocial relationships a lot here on this show. This is one of the only times I will advocate that the black man leave his white or leave his black wife for a white woman. It's okay, Will. Do it. Do it. Do it for all of us, brother. And then you parade Margot Robbie around as much as humanly possible. To be fair, without the slapping, we wouldn't have gotten selective outrage. Yeah, it's true. And look, that's something that's between Chris Rock and Will Smith, and apparently they're good. Chris roasted him pretty damn well on that Netflix special he did. But apparently behind the scenes, they're good. And listen, we all know. Like, you guys all know here, that slap, that wasn't about Chris Rock. You guys know that, right? That slap wasn't about or for Chris Rock. That slap was about Jada. He slapped Chris because he couldn't slap Jada. That entire video is actually a really, really great bit of human psychology. They should be showing that in Psych 101 classes. Watch, you go back and what was that? It wasn't the Grammys, was it? The Oscars? Whatever award show that was. Watch it. He was laughing at the joke, and it was a light joke because Jada runs around with a shaved head nowadays. It was a light joke about G.I. Jane. Will was laughing about it. He thought it was funny. He only changed his tone, and you can see it because the cameras catch it when he's laughing, and Jade is sitting there stone-faced. He only changed his tone when he looked back at her, saw she was mad about it, saw that she saw that he was laughing about it, and knew he was gonna get shit for it later. He knew he was gonna get shit for it later, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to deal with this later. So that slap wasn't about Chris. It wasn't. He slapped Chris because he couldn't slap Jada. Fascinating bit of human psychology there. It was a yes, honey moment. Yep, he looked at her. He thought it was funny. Everybody was there laughing. It was a lighthearted joke. Wasn't making fun of Jada's appearance really. It was just saying, oh, you got a shaved head like G.I. Jane. I like the look. But he had to do something because he knew he was in the doghouse, and he's probably mad about being in the doghouse. But yeah, that was because he couldn't slap. That was because he couldn't slap Jada. Margot's married to Tom Akerley. You think that means something in Hollywood? That means nothing, brother. Yo, did we already max out? Yeah, we already hit legend. Oh, good. Excellent work. Like I said earlier, this week, Guardian Games, Devil's Lair, great way to level up and reset your Vanguard ranks. Good stuff. Will was doing everything he could not to cry. Oh, it was... Marcus, it was brutal. It was brutal. I know it's late, but do you think you might be able to share an update with your Void build on YouTube since Elemental Wells are out? Maybe during Season of the Deep? Yeah, certainly. I'll do a quick overview of that actually right now. Well, that's what we'll end the stream with. But it's really not that different from the Elemental Well build, since Elemental Wells may be gone, but they basically just replaced them with Orbs of Light. So it's virtually the same, but with Orbs of Light. So I've got two basic Void builds that I use for PvE right now. All we're saying is that Will should have an entanglement of his own, 100%. It'd be sad if Will divorces Jada and then like 3 months later you find out Margot Robbie and her husband are getting divorced. You'll know what's about to happen. But yeah, so I've got a couple of Void builds. One relies upon synergy with Void Weapons and Verity's Brow. I'll show that off after this one. But the one that I've been playing with a lot lately is basically a triple aspect build that runs with the Nothing Manacles and Scatter Grenades. With Nothing Manacles, you basically get the benefits of Chaos Accelerant without having to actually have Chaos Accelerant active on yourself, because Nothing Manacles give you all the benefits for Scatter Grenades intrinsically. So you're technically getting Chaos Accelerant, Child of the Old Gods, and Feed the Void active all at the same time. For the basic class build, Supers, it's really dealer's choice. Usually Cataclysm is the best for PvE, but in strike stuff like this where getting points is important. Nova Warp has been working real well. Harbinger, thank you for that. Whatever Rift you want to run is perfectly fine. You're going to be getting Child of the Old Gods either way. I run Healing just because survivability in in-game content is pretty important. Burst Glide, of course, I like speed. Blink works really well, but it's more of a PvP jump than it is a PvE one. Pocket Singularity, and of course Scatter Grenades. This is intrinsic to the build, gotta run this. Scatter Grenades got a nice buff not too long ago that makes them deal pretty darn good damage if all of the sub-munitions can track to individual targets. They tend to do pretty well now with the buff that they get from Nothing Manacles, and when you mix it in with the debuffs that they can cause, plus Volatile, Scatter Grenades are pretty busted. You just drop those into the middle of a wave of enemies and completely wipes everything out. You can trigger Volatile on all of those enemies. Pretty darn good when it comes to blowing up ads all across the game, and it even works pretty well on tough targets. You saw me using it against champions over the course of this stream, and it was dealing like 40-50% of a champion's health. For your aspects, Feed the Void. With this, of course, you're going to be able to get Devour just by getting a Void ability kill, which you're going to have all the time with this build. And Child of the Old God, so you can toss, debuff Childs out whenever you drop your Rift. For the fragments, we've got Echo of Undermining, so your void grenades weaken targets. Echo of Persistence, so that your buffs, so stuff like Devour, which you're going to have up often enough, is going to stay up a bit longer. Echo of Instability, where defeating targets with grenades will grant you your volatile rounds to all of your void weapons. You're going to basically have infinite volatile rounds while you're running this build. And Echo of Cessation, where finisher final blows create a burst of void damage that causes nearby combatants to become volatile, and also defeating volatile targets will create a void breach. Since you're going to be making targets volatile all the time with your grenades and with your void weapons, works great for basically creating void breaches. And with a void breach, when you pick those up, it gives you additional class energy. The exotic that we're running with, of course, is Nothing Manacles. With this, you gain an additional scatter grenade charge, so you get 2 scatter grenades, scatter grenades, and it enables tracking for scatter grenade projectiles. That's the Chaos Accelerant buff that's built into the Nothing Manacles. It makes your scatter grenades way more reliable, so that they don't just kind of bounce out and then drift off into the heavens. The rest of it, yeah, you can kind of see most of the mods right there. Your basic gist is to have stuff like Void Siphon or whatever type of weapons that you're using. I run a lot of Void weapons because of synchronicity with stuff like Bricks from Beyond and Void Weapon Channeling. Go ahead and show off some of the artifact mods we've got right here. The ones that are probably most important to the build, you want authorized grenade mods. You definitely want Volatile Flow, so that picking up Orbs of Power will get you volatile. And then for me, Bricks from Beyond, Void Weapon Channeling. You pair these two with a Void LMG like Commemoration or Corrective Measure, you'll basically have infinite heavy for the entire time that you're running a strike, or even hell, sometimes in Gambit, it works really, really well. Good stuff. But basic mods you can see there. Got a Void Siphon because I'm using Void Weapons so that you can create extra Orbs of Power just by getting Void Weapon kills. Ashes to Assets, so you get a decent amount of super energy from your grenade kills. Heavy Ammo Finder on the gloves. We got Firepower, Grenade Kickstart, and Bolstering Detonation. I'm running double charged up on my chest piece, but for chest piece, you really kind of got a lot more options here. You could run some defensive setups with some of these dampeners and resistance mods. I just run double charged up because with this build, you're making so many Orbs of Power. I want to be able to carry as many armor charges as I possibly can. And like I said, with this build, you basically got infinite Devour, infinite Volatile rounds up 24/7. But you can swap out one of those for a Void Reserve if you're using a Void heavy weapon or like an LMG or a rocket or something like that. For the boots, I'm rocking triple Void Weapon Surge. Again, that's just mostly because I'm using Void Weapons throughout all of my activities, and triple Void Weapon Surge gives you a decent damage bonus to all of those. Then for the class item, well, I'm using the Guardian Games medal right now just because you know, you gotta get the medals and all that kind of stuff. But with this, Reaper and Double Bomber. That'll usually be enough to basically help you get your grenade backs quick enough. That you'll always have your grenades. I mean, you saw that for the entirety of this stream. There was rarely a point in time in which I didn't have Devour, didn't have Volatile active, didn't have Repulsor Brace active, because Repulsor Brace can trigger off of Volatile, and didn't have my grenade primed and ready to go. But that's basically it. Rotation is pretty simple. You literally just go out into the world, toss a grenade at an enemy, pick up an Orb of Light. Then you have Volatile, you have Devour, you can proc Repulsor Brace if you've got a Void weapon with that perk on there, so you get those extra overshields, and you're unkillable and dealing massive amounts of damage. And thanks to Ashes to Assets, you're getting a lot of super energy back from your grenade kills. Now you can mix this with other, you know, Void-based exotics. You can go Nezarec Sin or Verity's Brow. But I like the utility of having double scatter grenades for basic content. In harder content, I might swap this over to just a regular gauntlet and then move to Verity's Brow just to further power up my Void weapons and grenades. That gives you a nice grenade damage bonus, but Nothing Manacles works pretty well. But alright, yep, that's the build that I've been running, at least over the course of this stream, Akira. And it works pretty well. It's good survivability and in-game content. Volatile will allow you to basically beat anti-barrier champions without having to, you know, run an anti-barrier mod. It's good stuff. And you got a lot of healing from it. Definitely good stuff. Hey, Nikki, good to see you, girl. We're at the end of the stream, but it's good to see you anyway. We were talking about, well, we were talking about Destiny, we were talking about Will Smith and Jada and her entanglements, and how I wish Will Smith were banging Margot Robbie instead of Jada. How you doing today? How's your week going? What's the exotic that gives you 2 charges for stasis? That would be the Ozymancy gloves. These right here. God tier exotic for stasis warlocks, by the way.
The shadows. Are you ready?
Let's see. Oh. Gotta make some room. Alright, let's see what exotic we get from this.
Make good use of it.
Crown of Tempest. You know what? I should have picked that up on one of my other characters. Oh well, that's fine. Perpetual Motion Head Seeker. This is actually a decent PvP roll. Oh god, if only it had Arrowhead Break. Still, I might have to try that out. Is that your first reset or second? My second reset. By the way, Frostyez, good to see you, man. Long time no see. Let's see, what should I focus? No more focusing hung juries. We've got the shoot to loot kinetic tremors roll of that. I've already got a decent buzzard. I don't need another PvP version of that. Could roll for another lead from gold shoot to loot Malicious Birthright. Has been a very long time. Have you been? I've been good, man. I've been good. Just been back on the grind. Only very recently started streaming again. But I've been enjoying it. It's been good. I've very much enjoyed my time live streaming. I guess we'll go for another Horrors Least. Oh, wait. We can get 2 Horrors Leasts.
Are you ready?
Give me that Engram. Oh. Well, I feel kind of robbed, Zavala. Thanks, buddy. Oh, never mind. That was the Engram. Rip. I just gave away a Nightfall farm. A Nightfall focus.
Yes.
Do you not have DFA? No, I never got the reissued DFA. And I kind of, I was just kind of not really interested in it because there are better hand cannons now. Got shot offhand. There's some synergy in PvP there. Steady hands, focused fury. There is some utility here for PvP, but it doesn't have everything. Rest in peace. Battlescar can get kinetic tremors. Yes, it can. I've actually gotten one with kinetic tremors. But now that I've got, now that I've got the hung jury with shoot to loot kinetic tremors, I wouldn't necessarily farm for the shoot to loot kinetic tremors version of the Battlescar. Granted, it's hard to farm for anyway. It's a world drop that makes it really, really hard to get your hands on. Look, the internet needs a Ray J. Kim Kardashian level sex tape. Of who? Will Smith and Margot Robbie? Oh boy. Nah, I hope that lady. I hope her marriage is happy. Happier than Will Smith's. Shoot to loot's gonna be nutty soon? Yeah, man. That's why I'm thrilled. Yesterday on yesterday's stream, we got not 1, not 2, but 3 shoot to loot kinetic tremors versions of the hung jury. It's ludicrous. That's gonna be that's all of my good luck probably for the next couple seasons. And I even got the arrowhead brake stability roll, so it's going to be perfectly stable. Good stuff. I am ready for the shoot to loot change so that I can start using it to pick up orbs. Oh, that's going to be incredible for it's going to be incredible for nice and big and orange. It's going to be incredible for armor charge builds. Absolutely good stuff. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for today's live stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We've had some decent rewards overall from the Vanguard playlist this time around. Still got a few other things to do. We got to go get my Supremacy games for the week done. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. We can get that live stream going tomorrow. Yo, Marcus, I miss the Black Armory weapons too. That's one thing I wish they would have reissued with 801, because she's just sitting over here in her loom. Nobody visits her. Nobody goes to get the the glamour unlock things from her anymore. I wish they would reissue some of those weapons, and maybe someday they will. Rumor is we're going to be moving away from power levels in a upcoming season, and they're going to be making basically every weapon in the game relevant. So maybe we'll see some reissued Black Armory weapons sometime. Then I'd love to get my Galliard back out and whop it out with some of that big stuff there. But all right, everybody, I love your faces. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. To all the new faces who popped in over on YouTube and, of course, over on Rumble, my name is The Black Link. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We usually do these live streams. We usually do them Tuesday to Thursday, but we're going to be changing that up, I think, to a Wednesday to Friday schedule, because that just works a little bit easier with the way Destiny's content release works. Past couple of weeks, Bungie has basically been taking the game offline right around reset time for like 3 hours, and it's really kind of screwed things up. So I figure we'll just do a Wednesday to Friday stream schedule, since that way we'll have a full day removed from patch day. It'll give us a better opportunity to more consistently stream new content. Should be good all around. If you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you go and check me out over at rumble.com/The Black Link. There's a link to it in the description, as well as in the pinned comment right there in the live chat. Rumble is a newer video platform that is much more free speech friendly, and if you ask my opinion, it's got some more sexy people over there than what YouTube does. Trini, Nikki, and Shiloh are over there on Rumble, and that just gets the sex appeal through the roof. You know how we do. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. I love your faces. As always, I am the Black Link. Guardians, stay frosty. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.